Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, which today explores the odd relationship between the animal world and that of the human. Well, Sean, anyway. You don't know about cats or kittens, but we always had a cat.
Oh, I had a cat. I had a cat. Yes, I had a cat that went to bed with me.
No answer to that.
No.
How come you developed this hatred of them?
I told you a cat bit me once.
Did it take advantage of you?
No.
I hope not.
And I...
You remember the cat and the rabbit?
No, but apparently I wouldn't go to bed without this cat, and my mother had to sit beside me and the cat, and then when I went to sleep, I obviously had to lift the cat away. I had the cat in the bed with me.
Well, how did you develop this hatred of cats?
I told you, a cat bit me.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what, not many people can say that they were bitten by a cat.
No, I've never heard anyone saying that to me before. No one's ever told me that they were bitten by a cat. They've been scratched by a cat.
No, actually...
peed on by a cat, but never bitten by.
Yes. But it was my fault.
Tell me from the start.
Well, I don't know how I developed the fear of cats.
I don't know.
You see?
No.
But I was in a house, and this cat belonged to an elderly lady. And this person that I was with, this old chap, was visiting his granny or whoever it was, and I was stroking the cat, but I didn't want to. So the old lady said to me, "Oh, pet the cat, it likes being," and I was doing it out of politeness.
Yeah.
And I was, but I knew that I was afraid of the cat, and the cat knew that I was afraid of it, and it sensed the fear in me.
Yeah.
And the cat just...
Oh, cartoon cat.
Right at the back of my hand.
Really?
And it hissed at me and I got away. It was a horrible experience. And then people thought I did something on the cat.
So I wiped away with a cat bite you for no reason.
I just developed a fear of cats.
I know, and this cat just came at you for no reason whatsoever.
And me sitting stroking it.
It's going to show you the kindness that you, you know.
The kindness of strangers.
Indeed. Well, that's good.
There's a wee call.
I know that.
You're very clean looking today.
Thank you. The presenter's quest for more hair has stalled somewhat of late, not because the presenter has been rendered less vain, but purely because of the reputed high tariff involved in this transaction.
Did you see in the paper last week, by the way, about the old thatched roof?
The old thatched roof? No, I didn't see that.
Did you not?
No.
Only $4,000.
Is that right?
Did you not see it?
No, tell me about that. Don't tease me. Tell me what you're talking about.
Janet read it, and I read it.
Okay, well, tell me what it was that you read.
It was a double-page spread, a story on Jimmy Nesbitt and Gordon Ramsay.
That kind of thatched roof.
Yes.
Go ahead, tell me more.
And they told how they got it, and actually, it's painless. One of them, I think it was either Jimmy Nesbitt or Gordon Ramsay, sat watching a DVD while the operation or while it was carried out.
Okay, then. So I missed that. Now tell me, hold on a second. There's one question I have to ask.
$4,000.
$4,000?
$4,000. The max.
Well, you see, I could raise that from the listeners.
Yes, $4,000.
But listen, did they say where they got it?
Yes.
Did they pluck it out of your arse?
No. The back of the neck.
The back of the neck. But I mean,
back of the neck, a strip of skin apparently for the back of the neck, and then they but there's no pain whatsoever.
Is there not? Did you cut out that article for me?
It's a wee bit of swelling maybe for a day or two or a couple of days. That's about the height of it.
That'll be a change for me.
But there you are.
Okay. Well, did you cut that article out for me? As Janet got it. Janet, just not like you not to cut an article like that for me.
We assumed that you would have had it.
No. What paper was that in?
It was in the Daily Mirror one day last week. Double page spread.
Well, maybe I could call that up in the old...
You can do.
All right, then I must check that out. Thatch for Jerry. The presenter's latest reincarnation as a marathon runner must surely founder, but he is remarkably upbeat about the prospect of becoming the Zatopek of the 21st century. And there's a man who says, "I'll run to New York if you raise the money for me." Now, you see, they're starting now. You see the criticism?
What
Jerry,
will you wear?
What?
What will you wear?
I'm going to run naked.
No.
Yeah, I've insured coverage. No, I think I'll wear a little off-the-shoulder T-shirt and a figure-hugging pair of...
You have to wear something with Radio Ulster on it. You have to get your...
Why?
Your programme, Jerry Anderson, Radio Ulster, at the heart of broadcasting.
They'll all know me.
See? At the heart of
At
broadcasting.
the heart of broadcasting.
That'd be great.
I'll have that in me back.
Yes.
And on front I'll have for all your broadcasting needs.
Yes.
Yes, I'll do that.
Yes.
Jerry was hoping you'd play a request to my Uncle John Kenwright. I just found out he's a listener. Sounds like an accusation.
What will me and Janet be doing, by the way, when you're
You'll be sitting at home.
When you're running.
You'll be at
Will
home.
we give out Radio Ulster pens and hats and things? Or what,
no.
or
No,
we
I
sell
think
them?
I think what we should do is I think we should make a documentary about it and put it on television.
Yes.
Please play a request for my Uncle John Kenwright. Just found out that I'll do anything. Your choice of song, he's from Dundalk, but don't hold it against him. As the Oscar nominations approach, the presenter regrets lost opportunities of a thespian nature. He could have been a contender. You know, I often wish that I'd acted. And I feel as if I lost an opportunity.
A lot of people think acting's easy.
No, it's not. Stephen Ray wanted me to be an actor, you know. Did you know that? Did you ever tell you that?
No.
Did I ever tell you this?
No, this is a new one, Janet.
Oh, yeah. Be sarcastic.
No, let's hear this.
Well, I'll
Go
tell
on.
you the truth. I've never told you this before, and it's now time to reveal that there's a lot of sides to me that you
Now,
know
after you
nothing
tell the
about.
story, I'm going to put you to the test.
Okay.
Okay.
Stephen Ray, a few years ago, well, quite a few years ago now, before he was very famous, he became famous in a movie called what? The Crying Game. Remember The Crying Game? Mm-hmm. Well, before that, he was quite famous and he was doing really well, but he hadn't broken into that Hollywood thing, not kind of Liam Neeson world. Hadn't broken in there. And when he did The Crying Game, that was him. But anyway, just a year before that, after he'd filmed The Crying Game, he was doing a production of Waiting for Godot on...
I remember this.
yes.
I remember this. You were asked.
Yeah, he wanted me to be
Yes.
Estragon.
That's right. I remember that.
And I said to him, I'd
you
never...
said yes.
I said
And then
yes.
you backed out.
I didn't back out.
Something happened.
Stop finishing me stories.
I
Will
think.
you wait until I tell you the story?
I think I'll tell you who's involved in this story. As far as I remember, Ivan Little.
No.
Ivan Little plays a part in this story.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
Does not.
I bet you he does.
Nothing wrong with Ivan Little, but nothing to do with him. Stop dragging these people in.
Dragging him in. Ivan Little had a production on somewhere else.
Ah! Ivan Little? Nothing
Yes.
to do with Ivan Little.
He appeared the last time you told this story. Ivan Little featured in the story.
You're a liar. I did not feature Ivan Little in any stories that I've told.
Right, tell it without involving Ivan Little.
All right, then.
Go on.
Well, I don't feel like telling the story now. I don't like your attitude.
No.
Anyway,
Tell Janet. She wants
and
to hear.
All right, I'll tell Janet because she's a sympathetic face, not like your big, long beak. Anyway, what happened was he said, I said, well, I could never remember all that dialogue. He said, go away and read it. So I read it. I'd read it before, of course.
Yes.
You always say that. I hear people say, I reread it. Did you ever hear people saying that? They say, I was rereading Shakespeare last night, as if, do you think I didn't read it before? I hate people who say that. I never say reread. I was rereading Moby Dick the other night. When did you say I was reading it? But you don't say you're reading it because you want people to know what you read a whole lot of times. You're smart. Anyway, I reread Waiting for
You
God.
do that to me when I said you.
I do not.
I would say things like, "Did you see lit on the TV last night?" And you say, "That was on before. I saw that months ago. You didn't see that last time it was on." You
I
do
do
that all
yes.
the time.
I
to
do
me.
that. Because you don't see
And you
things
put
until
me down. I know.
You never see. You're too busy watching snooker.
I know.
So you should watch things when they're on. You see them a year later.
I like taking my time. I like to wait
All right.
to know that I'm the only one watching it.
Do you want to hear the story or not?
Yes.
Anyway, he said, go and read it. And I went and read it. Didn't understand any of it, of course, but since when did that ever stop me doing anything? I came back and I said, I'll never remember all that dialogue. He said, we'll just do it in bits, he said. We'll do it 5 minutes at a time. I said, even that's a lot. He said, you can do it. He said, I'll help you. I said, great. So I went home and I became Estragon.
Go on. Do it now.
No, I can't do it now.
Go on. That's this is the
Oh,
challenge.
no, stop that. You're just trying to make little
No,
of me.
Janet says we want to hear you. Go and read for us.
I'm not going to. I don't read. I haven't got it with me. This is years ago, many years ago. I don't remember any of it. And anyway, just when we were just about to kind of really do it, I suppose, and talk about seriously about doing it, he became a big hit in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then I said, he's still going to do it. He said, I've been offered $250,000 to do this film at the same time. And he said, I said to my wife, I said, what'll I do? Will I do this or will I do that $250,000 film? And she said, do the $250,000 film.
Yes.
So he went off and did that. No, you can't blame him. So my career was on the rocks. Being almost human and eerily mortal, The presenter harbours doubts as to his ability to run 26 miles non-stop without dying noisily in the process. Time will tell. I will know myself when I reach that halfway stage. I know if I'm capable of it or not.
There's no one going to push you. No, of course not. I mean,
what I'm saying is, I'm giving myself just a slight way out.
No, naturally enough.
26 miles? I couldn't drive 26 miles.
No, you can do it. You can walk it. You can stop.
26 miles? That's from here to Inverville.
You can do it. Don't be like that. Don't be like that.
I'm going to be like that. I'm just...
When did you talk to Lucy?
I didn't talk to her at all.
No, when did you talk to Lucy on the radio? Was it last Thursday? Yes, and you were positive. You were positive.
Yeah.
Now here we are now, 3 days later, and you're giving us out negative thoughts now.
No, I was lying in bed yesterday looking at my legs.
Yes.
And it's not a pretty sight.
Where were they?
Down below me. And they were lying in bed in front of me.
Right.
And I was lying there, you see, and I looked at them and I went, "Hello, boys." I said, "There's big things in front. There's big things ahead." I said, "I'm going to have to test you, lads." And they went, "What are you going to do, Jerry?" I said, "I'm going to make you run." "But I only like walking." I said, "Yes, you've walked with me for many, many years. I'm going to test your mettle. I'm going to strain you to the utmost. I'm going to make you pound the road." And they went, "No, stop." I said, "I'll do it gradually. First of all, I'll take you out walking as normal, but then I'm going to have to ask you to shuffle a little. And see how you like it."
Yeah.
Okay. "And will you try it?" And they went, "All right." My legs have said yes. They said they're going to try it, but they don't know how they're going to bear up. And I said to my knee, "Hey, little joint, do you think you'll crumble?" He said, "I think I'm okay." That's the way knees talk. Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.